Hello again guys, welcome back to the channel. Here's your boy Vexed here again, and we are back with the Carbon Collective Motorsports, and we are doing the Saturday one make series at the moment. So we are in the Alfa 155, which is 2.5 V6 I believe. Everyone's in the same machinery. We are at Brands Hatch GP circuit today. A very nice sunny day indeed. We have got capacity crowd. We'll have a quick rundown through the grid. We've got Wayne G has managed to snag that pole. Vexed is there in second place. We've got Dan Bailey in third. Chuck is in fourth. We've got Pickle in fifth place. We've got Thomas sixth. Ice Chand is seventh. Mawson is in eighth. Hodgie is ninth. And Smurf bringing up the rear in 10th place. Without further ado, should we get into it? We're going to watch the lights count down. There's 5 lights. 3, 2, 1. And they're off. There's no klaxon this time round. I shall go and grab Klaxon Boy by his neck for the next round though. We will get klaxon. When did you get a really good getaway there? Dan Bailey actually managing to edge ahead of Vex. Vex is now down to third place. Chuck is trying to slide his way through as well. Chuck there in fourth place. We've got Pickle there in fifth. Dan Bailey and Vex side by side into Druids there. Dan Bailey managing to take that position away. Now we got Chuck and Vex side by side, but Vex is actually trying to come back now against Dan Bailey. He's managed to stay just ahead of Chuck. Meanwhile, Wenny G is starting to gap the rest of the field. Dan Bailey is up to second place. We've got Vex there in third place. Chuck is in fourth place, still trying to find his way past Vexed. Ice Chan's going to stick on the back of him at the moment. He's in that humbug livery again. Well, it's not actually a humbug, is it? I'm going to say like Everton Mint style. He's got the racing stripes anyway. It does remind me of a boiled sweet though. That is where I was going with that. Oh, there's a tiny bit of contact there between Chand and Chuck. I think maybe a little bit of the lag from Chuck contributing to that. Chand just glancing off of his rear bumper then. Chand is there in fifth place. Thomas currently down in sixth. Hodgie is there in seventh place. We have Pickle is there in eighth. Mawson in ninth place in that bright green Alfa Romeo, and then we have Smurf in 10th. So we'll go back down through the pack. I think we saw a move getting made there. Chuck! What's happened to Chuck? Chuck now down to 8th place. He's going to lose that position to Mawson as well. Mawson manages to get through. Chuck flashing his hazards there. Has Chuck got some issues? Chuck may have some mechanical issues. He's going to have Smurf starting to bear down on him as well. Smurf takes out the inside into turn 1. That was a great move there from Smurf. I think Chuck is definitely in an ailing car, isn't he? I don't know if he's going to end up having to pit that car. It looks like he's maybe having some mechanical issues. I'm not too sure. Meanwhile, Wayne G has started to edge ahead of the rest of the pack now. He's actually got the fastest lap on lap 1 of a 1:35.098. That will change this time round, being lap 2. He's 4.7 seconds faster this time round, which is obviously relative because on the first lap you go from the start finish, don't you? Grid start, should I say. He's still 4.6 up at the moment. So we've got Dan Bailey still there in third place, still being hounded by Vex at the moment. Vex is going to be trying to make his way past Dan Bailey, but he's not quite close enough to go for a move just yet. He actually just got a little bit greedy on that previous curb. I'm not sure if that's going to give Vex the penalty. We'll have a quick look. Oh no, Dan Bailey's gone deep. That's going to allow Vex through. Vex up to second place now. Dan Bailey's going to rejoin in third. That was unlucky, Dan. He just went a little bit deep through that. I can't remember what the turn is called. We will find out though. As they come round the penultimate, that is the final turn there, isn't it? Coming around the final turn now. Onto the start finish. And up into Paddock Hill Bend, which is turn 1. So Danny Bailey looking like he's on a little bit of a back foot now. Will Ice Chan be able to go for a move into Druids? He's not quite close enough this time around. Or is he? Creeping right onto the gearbox there of Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey's going to be feeling the pressure a little bit now, I'm sure. As we look ahead, he is starting to lose that gap somewhat to Vex now, so he's going to have to try and stay hot on his heels, isn't he? But look at Ice Chan go. Ice Chan is right up in his grill now. Ice Chan trying to look for a way past. Dan Bailey's going to have to start going defensive. He is going defensive. He's taking the centre of the road, not allowing Chan anywhere to get past. They may have to do a bit of bump drafting for a lap or two. Chan may just hang off of his bumper. He's going to be getting the benefit of the slipstream as well. Oh, it's Dan Bailey. He almost went deep again for that last turn. And this is the one where he made a mistake before, didn't he? He went wide. He's cut that chicane that time. I mean, he's cut the apex that time. He took way too much of that curb, and he's ended up with a penalty for it. A whole half a second's worth of penalty. He's going to carry it for the remainder of this lap. He will have to serve it on the next lap though, so that is going to damage his effort somewhat. I think he's going to end up behind Chand. If Chand keeps this gap at the moment, which it looks like he's fairly consistent, so I would imagine Chand is going to get promoted to third place. And Vex still doing really well to hold on to that second at the moment. Is Chand going to go for a move now into Druids? I think he's going to wait for Dan to serve that penalty, if I'm honest. He doesn't really have to try and force a move at the moment, does he? So Moulton now having a bit of a lonely race. He's up to 5th place. Quite a gap between him and Chand, and him and Thomas behind in 6th. There's a very shiny green livery there from Moulton. Thomas behind him, Thomas Walsh, Thomas W769. Actually the fastest guy on track at the moment for 1:29.9. And here he is. He is starting to reel Moulton in, but still quite a few car lengths ahead at the moment is Moulton. What can Thomas do? Obviously a £20 PSN gift card on offer for this one. We started last week, I think it was last Saturday night, was the first round here at Brands Hatch, but after Brands the lobbies just seemed to go kaput, and we had to continue. In fact, no, it was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? So it was last Saturday that we continued the 155 one make series. And there is Pickle. Pickle is in 7th place. He's getting challenged now by Smurf. Can Smurf be able to go for a move against him? I'm not too sure. In fact, we've got a board with Smurf as we come into Druids. He's going to be able to sling it up the inside. Not quite that time around. He's going to try and maintain that gap. Pickle going a little bit wide on the exit of Druids. Oh, he looked like he was a little bit out of shape coming through this turn. What can Gary do? Come on, Gary. Gary has got Chuck all over his rear now, though. Having to take the inside line, not allowing Chuck any space to come through. And look at Chuck go now. Chuck is right up Gary's chuffer, literally pushing him along for that last turn. Is he going to go for a move here? Oh, there was a tiny bit of contact there. Smurf actually picking up a penalty there. I'm not sure what that was for. I think maybe he got a little bit greedy on that previous apex. But you can see from the onboard that Chuck is suffering with a little bit of lag at the moment as Gary goes deep. He's gone deep. He's on the grass. That has allowed Chuck through quite easily. Gary now down to 9th place in that lovely baby blue Alfa 155, the Adidas Oreo livery. And then Hodgie repping Hambridge Transport. That is also a very nice livery there, Hodge. Kudos on that one. I like your wheels as well, man. Them chrome rims, they do look pretty sick. Meanwhile, we have got the chameleon car of Wayne G out in first place still, and he has just put in a purple sector, so maybe trying to take that fastest lap away from Thomas. You can see him sporting the Carbon Collective decal there as well, made by our very own Dan Bailey. He's a bit of a graphical wizard, is Dan. So Vexed still there in 2nd place. And Ice Chand has managed to get past Dan Bailey now, so he's now going to be starting to put some pressure on Vex. You can see him, he's only a couple of car lengths behind Vexed. Vexed is going to maybe have to start going defensive. See what Vex can do, see if he can manage to stay ahead of Chand. He's lost Wayne G, hasn't he? So he hasn't got the advantage of that slipstream anymore. It's just going to be pure driving from here on out. We're on lap 7 now. 9 minutes in, we got just over 5 minutes to go. Just under 6 minutes to go. And here comes Ice Chand. Is he going to have a look at the Druids? No, not that time round. He has closed the gap though. And he is right onto the back of Vex now. He's really going to be starting to pressure Vex to maybe try and force him into an error. I think as we are into the final 5 minutes, we might have to have a quick rundown through the grid as Chand has closed that gap somewhat again. He is closing up under the braking zones, isn't he? Maybe braking a little bit later than Vex, maybe Vex a little bit tentative on the brakes. He's having to brake a little bit earlier. I know, well, I can tell you I was actually suffering. I have been, as I went a bit deep there, I have been suffering with feedback issues with my T300, obviously being pre-owned. I think it's come to the end of its shelf life now, and I'm going to have to replace it. And there we go. We saw the move get done. Vex went a little bit deep, didn't he? He's lost that advantage now against Chand. He's going to have to try and stick with him, stay in that slipstream. Can he be able to go retake that? Go for a... Will he be able to re-overtake Chand? I'm not too sure. Chand is looking rapid at the moment. I think Chand going to be trying to get onto the back of Wadey G. As Dan Bailey is now on the back of Vex as well. Vex is definitely under attack. He's dropped one position already. Is he going to lose that position to Dan Bailey as well? Dan Bailey goes wide through that last turn, but he's managed to keep it. It's getting very close between these two now. And Thomas has managed to get past Wayne as well. Moulson in the background there. So we have got Wayne G first place, we got Ice Chand second, we got Vex currently in third, being chased by Dan Bailey in fourth place. Dan Bailey is closer than ever now, isn't he? I think that 4 cars, almost within a second of each other. Thomas there as well. Thomas is going to be starting to pile the pressure onto Dan Bailey. Moulson is there in 6th place now. He's dropped a position. We got Pickle there in 7th. Chuck is in 8th with half a second's worth of penalty. Hodgie 9th. He's managed to get past Smurf now. Smurf all the way down in 10th place. And where was the battle? So it's here. These 4 cars here. We got Chand, Vexed, Dan Bailey and Thomas all within a second of each other. And Vex looking like he's going to start trying to maybe size up and move against Chand. Chand having to go defensive. He's moved back over to take the racing line. Will Vex be able to go up the inside into turn 1? No, not quite that time round. I think he may be under pressure now from Dan Bailey. Oh, he's looking up the inside. Not able to get that move done. Oh, there was almost contact there between him and Dan Bailey. There was a bit of door rubbing. Bit of panel bashing. Oh no, Dan Bailey almost losing it on the exit of that turn. He's managed to regain his composure. Oh, he goes a little bit wide. Oh, it's another mistake from Dan Bailey. That's allowed Thomas through. Thomas now up to 4th place, but Dan Bailey's on the inside. No, Thomas has managed to take it. He's taken that position. Dan Bailey now down to 5th place. 12 and a half minutes in. No, 12, nearly 13 minutes in, should I say. And Moulson's starting to creep up onto the back of him as well. So don't write him off just yet. He may be able to make up a position or 2 as yet. If somebody makes a mistake, which they may well do. Look at these 5 cars now. These 5 cars at the front. Wayne G is off. He's way ahead now. In a league of his own at the moment. Will he be able to take the PSN gift card? Who knows? Obviously, how it works is it goes on overall wins. Oh, is there Thomas looking for a move now against Vex. Vex is in 3rd place, but he's going to lose that position to Thomas, is he? Thomas trying to go the long way round into the final turn. He's not going to get it done that time round. Vex was going defensive. Is he going to get it into turn 1? Vex still trying to cover him off. Look how close they are now. Vex still covering that inside. Thomas is going to surely get through though, isn't he, into Druids. He's got his nose alongside now. He is alongside him. And he does get it done. Very, very nice move there from Thomas. There wasn't a lot Vex could do. He was trying to defend it, wasn't he? Trying to come back as well. Oh, there's a bit of contact there. Thomas is all right, though. He's unscathed. Vex gave him back the advantage as well, just to be sure. That's allowed Mawson through. Oh, Mawson into the back of Vex. Excuse me. So them three, very close to each other. We had Vex, Mawson and Dan Bailey. Oh, my God. That couldn't be any closer, could it? Mawson almost managed to get a 2 for 1 there. He managed to slip past Dan Bailey. He tried to get one over on Vex, but Vex was having none of it. Shut that door. Nowhere for Wayne to go but into his rear bumper. Some make... Well, I don't think that was a block, to be fair. I think Vex was just covering off the inside. Mawson wasn't actually alongside, so yeah. Just the door shut when he wasn't expecting it. So Wayne G is surely going to take the win here. Flash of the lights there. Oh no! What's he done? He's hit the handbrake. I think Chan's going to come through and take the win. Ice Chan. So Ice Chan first place, Thomas second, Wayne G third. No, Vex was third, Mawson fourth, Wayne G down to fifth. Dan Bailey there in sixth place. Pickle comes home in seventh. Chuck with that sideways porpoise in 8th place. Hodgie in that beautiful livery, Hanbridge Transport representative. He brings it home in 9th place. And Smurf's going to round it out in 10th. Well, what a first race that was, guys. That was some absolutely fantastic racing, wasn't it? Unlucky Wayne G. Chan managing to snag the win at the end there. Wayne G, what happened? I think he was tapping his... I think he was trying to flash his lights and he must have tapped his handbrake and it just sent him round into the barrier. That was so unlucky there for Wayne G. That was almost the first win there for Wayne G. Going to Chand in the end, though. But what a race. Well, that was round 1, guys. We'll be back with... Or race 1, sorry. We'll be back with race 2 very shortly. Stay tuned. I've been your boy Vexed. Good night.